Hey, Zach Shea with Rita Realty here. I recently did a video on some things you can do now to help with the buying process, even though you're not maybe necessarily ready to buy right away. Next up, we have selling and a few tips that you can do right now to help get your home ready to list. If you're considering selling, here are a few things you can do now to get your house ready so it's not a mad rush come time to list. Number one, paint or touch-ups. This doesn't necessarily mean repainting your whole house, although in some cases that can be a good idea. But this more just refers to touch-ups and filling in some holes in your walls, scuffs on your baseboards, doors. When a buyer comes into your house, you want people to fall in love with your home and not necessarily be making a to-do list of repairs right away. Number two is declutter. If your house is overflowing with stuff, a potential buyer might worry that all their belongings won't fit. So what you can do is start maybe donating some stuff, getting rid of some stuff you don't need, or simply start packing some stuff that you won't need right away and putting in some storage off site. And then you're kind of that far ahead when your home does sell in terms of you already have some stuff packed up. Number three would be to start collecting some documentation on your house. This could include septic or well information, survey, or your heater hydro bills. If you're organized, maybe you have all this stuff anyway. If you're not, then this is something that most buyers are going to ask for. So you might want to get started on having that available. Number four, and this doesn't necessarily apply to everybody, but for some certain properties, it can be very useful to talk to a lawyer before listing your property. Something common that we deal with here at Rita Realty is lots of waterfront property. And kind of a common thing that can come up is maybe someone who has a cottage, it's been handed down, not really many sales, and then they decide to sell it, and then the buyer's lawyer does their title search, and then maybe there's something weird on titles, a lot of private roads, there can be some weird right-of-ways. There's things that can hamper a sale. Depending on the severity of it, it could give the buyer a right to get out of the deal after it has firmed up. So if you do have a specialty property or it hasn't been sold in a long time, it could be handy to discuss this with a lawyer before to avoid any maybe headache after an accepted deal is in place. Number five, and really this should be the very first thing you do, and not just because I'm biased, but talk to a realtor. Even if you are months away from actually selling your property, by bringing in a realtor with lots of knowledge on your market, they can give you lots of advice for kind of those steps 1 through 4. Whether it be, hey, these are the specific things to your home or cottage that I would suggest doing before you list it, or hey, you're thinking of selling in 3-4 months. This weekend might be the best weekend. Maybe there's something going on. Lots of people will be here. That sort of thing. Not only do you want to talk to a realtor, but you want to talk to multiple realtors. You don't just want to necessarily say, hey, my cousin's co-worker's uncle's a realtor, so I will use him. You want to make sure you interview multiple and what each one has to offer, and you want to know that they'll be working their hardest for you to get you the most money for your property and to sell it as quickly as possible. Hope you found this video helpful, and please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.